Now, in my previous class, I have discussed the problems, I mean the vectors, multiple choice questions in vectors up to question number 18. So total number of questions I have shown before the discussion was 26. So of which I have already discussed the questions from 1 to 18 in my previous two classes. So in this class, I am going to discuss the solutions of the questions from 19 to 26. Look at the question number 19 on the screen, which was already shown to you once in the past. I will read out the question. The line of acts is the resultant of two forces, P bar and Q bar, within brackets P greater than Q. Divide the angle between them in the ratio 1:2, and the magnitude of their resultant in terms of P and Q. You have to find the magnitude of the resultant in terms of P and Q here. This question I feel that may be needed only for students with mathematical option, that is MPC students. May not be required for those who are preparing exclusively only for medical entrance, but even they will be able to understand probably the solution. Only thing, they use one formula in mathematics, in trigonometry. Come on, look at the solution of this question. Let R bar represent the resultant of the two vectors P bar and Q bar from parallelogram law of vector addition. The two vectors P bar and Q bar are represented graphically by the adjacent sides of the parallelogram, such that tail of vector P bar is attached to tail of vector Q bar. And the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through their point of intersection represent their vector sum or resultant both in magnitude and direction. Let alpha be the angle made by the resultant with the first vector P bar beta be the angle made by the resultant with the second vector Q bar. In the diagram, the director line segment OA bar represents P bar. The director line segment OB bar represents vector Q bar. OSCB is a parallelogram. The director line segment OC bar represents resultant R bar. So when two parallel lines are cut by a straight line, transversal, R right angle is equal, so this will be also equal to beta. So the angle theta between the two forces P bar and Q bar can be to alpha plus beta. So given that alpha is to beta is 1:2, that means you can write beta equal to 2 alpha. Therefore, theta equal to alpha plus beta means you can write alpha plus 2 alpha. That will be 3 alpha. So, in the triangle OAC, angle OAC will be equal to 180 degrees minus alpha plus beta, or 180 degrees minus theta. So if you apply the sine rule in the triangle OAC, so in the triangle OAC, length of the side AC same as length of side OB. Because OAC is a parallelogram, opposite sides have equal length. So length of side AC equal length of the line OB, which will be equal to mod of QR. So applying the sine rule in the triangle OAC, and write length of the side OA divided by sine of the angle at the opposite vertex, that is beta. The length of the side OA is to P, the angle opposite to this side OA is beta. So the length of the side AC, which is equal to Q, divided by sine of the angle alpha opposite to this side, divided by length of side OC, that is magnitude of the resultant, divided by sine of the angle OAC. So if you consider the first and second, you can write P by Q equal to sine beta by sine alpha. So sine beta you can write 2 sine alpha cos alpha. Because beta equal to 2 alpha here, you substitute beta equal to 2 alpha. P by Q will be sine 2 alpha by sine alpha. In trigonometry have one formula. Sine 2 theta equal to 2 sine theta cos theta. So sine beta is sine 2 alpha, which you can write 2 sine alpha cos alpha divided by sine alpha. That you can written as V by Q. So from that you get cos alpha equal to P by 2Q. They ask you to find the magnitude of resultant of P bar and Q bar in terms of P and Q. From parallelogram law of addition of vectors, the magnitude of the resultant is given by R equal to root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Here theta equal to 3 alpha. So you have to find cos 3 alpha. So to find cos 3 alpha, you know cos alpha, you can find cos 3 alpha from that and use that formula. Otherwise, alternately, you can see the last two equalities here. The last two equalities, this result equality as equation 1 here. Then if you consider this and this, you can write R by Q equal to sine of angle OAC by sine alpha. Angle OAC equal to 180 minus theta. From here. Sine 180 minus theta is sine theta. From trigonometry. So you can write theta equal to here 3 alpha. So you can substitute theta equal to 3 alpha. Sine 3 alpha by sine alpha. So you can use a formula in trigonometry. Sine 3 theta equal to 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. This formula I have given in one of the problems before I started discussion of solutions. You can use it here also. So now you can divide each one separately. This you can write R by Q So 3 sin alpha by sin alpha minus 4 sin cube alpha by sin alpha. So those who want to copy the solution of this problem, they can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. Of course, still simplification is not completed. Want to copy the solution of the problem. You can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So as we got here earlier, r by q equal to 3 sin alpha minus 4 sin cube alpha by alpha. So from this you get r by q equal to 3 minus 4 sin square alpha. Sin square alpha you can write 1 minus cos square alpha. The next step you can substitute this value cos alpha equal to k by 2. So this you can write 3 minus sin square alpha you can write 1 minus cos square alpha. So 3 minus 4 plus 4 cos square alpha. That is minus 1 plus 4 into cos alpha. From first equation you got p by 2q. So minus 1 plus p square by q square is r by q. So you get r equal to minus q plus multiplying the equation with q. P square into q by q square. So you get minus q plus p square by q. So you get r equal to minus q square plus p square by q. Or r equal to p square minus q square by q. So that's the answer for the question. If you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. See that question number 20. The magnitude of the resultant of two forces of magnitudes P and Q is P. And there are two forces 2P and Q acting in the same directions as before. Also equals P. The angle between P and Q is. So 4 options are given. The angles are expressed in radian. So now we can look at the solution of this problem. In the first case, the magnitudes of the two forces are P and Q. The magnitude of the resultant is P. Let us suppose the two forces are inclined to each other at an angle theta. In the second case, the two forces have magnitudes 2P and Q. The magnitude of the resultant is again P. Direction of the force 2P in the second case same as the direction of the first force. Similar direction of the second force is same in both the cases. So direction of the first force is same. Only magnitude of the first force is doubled, but directions of the remain same. In general, if F is the magnitude of the resultant of two forces F1 bar and F2 bar, or in general if F bar is the resultant of two forces F1 bar and F2 bar, then by using the parallelogram law of vector addition, you can write F square equal to F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 F2 cos theta. Theta is the angle of the two forces. So in the first case, F1 is P, F2 is Q, F equal to P. Therefore, we get P square equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. P square gets cancelled both sides. Simplify this, you get minus q square by 2p q equal to cos theta. We get cos theta equal to minus q by 2p. So in the second case, now to the first force F1 equal to 2p, F2 equal to q, and now the resultant F is again p. Again use the same equation. Left hand side can substitute F equal to p, and right hand side can substitute F1 equal to p, F2 equal to q, but cos theta is of c in both the cases, because the angle theta with the two forces is not changed. The directions of the forces are not changed. Only magnitude of first force is doubled. So F can left hand we can put F equal to P, right hand F1 equal to P, F2 equal to Q, F1 equal to 2P, F2 equal to Q. And we can substitute this value of cos theta here, minus Q by 2P. That has to be simplified. We get 4P square plus Q square. Here 2P gets cancelled, minus Q square. So magnitude of the resultant in second case is P. So F1 equal to P here, 2P whole square plus Q square plus 2 into PQ. So you get here, 2P gets cancelled, you get minus Q square into 2 you get. That means you get P square minus 4P square is equal to Q square minus 2Q square. Or you can write minus 3P square is minus Q square. Or you can write Q square equal to 3P square. Or Q equal to P root 3. You have to consider the positive root because P and Q represent the magnitudes which cannot be negative. So you can substitute the value of Q from the second equation into the first equation. From 1 and 2, you get cos theta equal to minus P root 3 by 2P. Or you will get cos theta equal to minus root 3 by 2. You can observe that cos theta will get minus root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2 is the value of cos 30 degrees. As you must be knowing that cos 180 degrees minus theta equal to minus cos theta. That means the angle theta between the two forces must be 180 degrees minus 30 degrees. That is 150 degrees. You can convert this angle into radian. If you convert into the angle into radian, it will be 5 pi by 6 radian. That's the answer. If you want to copy the solution of this problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. Look at the question number 21. Two forces P bar and Q bar have a resultant R bar, and resolved part of R bar in the direction of P bar is of magnitude Q. And the angle between the forces in terms of P and Q is, come on, look at the solution of this problem. Let us suppose the two forces P bar and Q bar are represented graphically by the direct line segment OA bar and OB bar, and OABCB is the parallelogram. So from parallelogram, let here theta be the angle between the two forces P bar and Q bar. From parallelogram law of addition vectors, OC bar represents the resultant of P bar and Q bar. It's given that resolved part of R bar in the direction of P bar is of magnitude Q. If we choose the direction of, we can choose the direction of P bar as x-axis. direction perpendicular to P bar, the same plane of the parallelogram, the same plane containing the two vectors. I take it as y-axis. That means resolved path of R bar in the direction of P bar has magnitude Q. That means x component resultant has magnitude Q. Can resolve the two vectors, can resolve the vector Q bar into rectangular components. So R bar you can write P bar plus Q bar. P bar you can write Pi cap because it is direct along x-axis. Q bar can be written as Qx into I cap plus Qi into J cap. Qx and Qi are the rectangular components of Q bar in the directions along P bar and perpendicular to P bar. Theta is the angle made by vector Q bar with x-axis. Then Qx can be written as Q cos theta. Qy can be written as Q sin theta. So this is R bar you can write Rx I cap plus Ry j cap. Rx represents x component of the resultant, means component of the resultant in the direction of P bar. Ry the y component resultant. The right hand side you can collect the x components at one place. You can write P plus Q cos theta into I cap plus Q sin theta into J cap. So it's given, you can equate x component here. Rx equal to P plus Q cos theta. It's given that resolved path of R bar in the direction of P bar has magnitude Q. That means x component resultant has magnitude Q. Therefore, you can write Rx equal to Q here. Q equal to P plus Q cos theta. So you can write in terms of Q and P, cos theta can be written as Q minus P by Q. But you are not given the answer in this form. From this you get theta equal to cos inverse of Q minus P by Q. So you can use some trigonometry formula here. The left hand side you can write Q by Q minus P by Q. Right hand side cos theta you can write 2 cos square theta by 2 minus 1, or you can also write 1 minus 2 sin square theta by 2. So left hand side also Q by Q will be 1. 1 gets cancelled, so you get 2 sin square theta by 2 equal to P by Q. So sin square theta by 2 P by 2Q. So sin theta by 2 will be root of P by 2Q. So theta by 2 can be written as sin inverse of root of P by 2Q. So from that you get the answer as, the given answer you get theta equal to 2 sin inverse root of P by 2Q. Of course, you can proceed this calculation from beginning step also. Here, so you can separate the terms containing P and Q here separately, and you can use the formula in trigonometry to complete the problem. So if you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. So look at the question number 22. This question was given one of the previous entrance examinations, MSET. Look at the question. I will read out the question. At a given instant of time, two particles are having position vectors 4I bar minus 4J bar plus 7K bar meter and 2I bar plus 2J bar plus 5K bar meter respectively. The velocity of the first particle is 0.4 I bar meter per second. The velocity of the second particle meter per second. The collide after 10 seconds is. Come on, look at the solution of the problem. So position vector of the first particle I am denoting by R1 bar. Position vector of second particle by R2 bar, which are given. Velocity of the first particle I am denoting by V1 bar. Velocity of second particle V2 by V2 bar. The time after which the collision takes place I denote by T. You are given V1 bar, R1 bar and R2 bar. You have to find V2 bar. So let A be the suppose initial position of the first particle. Y is the origin of the coordinate system. This problem comes under the discussion I have done earlier. Condition for collision of two particles. Let B be the initial position of second particle. The first particle starts moving with constant velocity V1 bar. Second particle starts moving with constant velocity V2 bar. Let us suppose the two particles collide each other at a point P. From parallel triangle law of vector addition, you can write OA bar plus AP bar equal to OP bar. You can also write OB bar equal to OB bar plus BP bar. Here OA bar represents the position vector of initial position of the first particle. OB bar represents the position vector of initial position of second particle. AP bar represents the displacement of first particle. So this you can write R1 bar. The displacement of first particle can be written as V1 bar into time. OB bar is the position vector of the initial position of second particle denoted by R2 bar. VP bar is the displacement of second particle in time t. That can be written as the velocity of second particle in time t. So from first and last you can write R1 bar minus R2 bar plus V1 bar into T equal to V2 bar into T. To solve these equations, substitute the given values. R1 bar you can write 4I bar minus 4J bar plus 7K bar meter. R2 bar equal to I bar plus 2J bar plus 5K bar meter. V1 bar equal to 0.4 I bar meter per second into T 10 seconds equal to V2 bar into T is 10 seconds. So if you simplify this yourself, 4I bar minus 2I bar plus 4I bar, that is 6I bar, minus 4J bar minus 2J bar minus 6J bar minus 5K bar meters by 10 seconds equal to V2 bar. 7K bar plus 5K minus 5K bar will be 2K bar. So here you should write 2K bar. So if you simplify this, you get the answer. V2 bar equal to 0.6 I bar minus 0.6 J bar plus 0.2 K bar. Of course, it will be in meter per second. You take 0.6 common outside, you get the answer given there. If you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. Now see the question number 23. This question was also given one of the previous EAMCET examinations in the medical entrance. I read out the question. Vector q bar having a magnitude of 8. That means mod of q bar or q can be written as 8. Is added to the vector p bar which lies along the x-axis. So p bar lies along x-axis. So vector p bar can be written as magnitude of p bar into unit vector along x-axis, or p bar can be written as pi cap. The resultant of these two vectors is a third vector r bar which lies along y-axis. So r bar acts along y-axis. So r bar can be written as r into j cap. Because in general, any vector can be expressed as product of its magnitude and unit vector in same direction. Unit vector along x-axis denoted by cap, and unit vector along y-axis denoted by j cap, and has a magnitude twice that of p bar. That means it's given that r equal to 2p. You're asked to find magnitude of p bar. Come on, look at the solution. So you are given magnitude of vector q bar or q equal to 8. P bar acts along x-axis. R bar acts along the y-axis. Magnitude of the resultant is 2 times the magnitude of P bar. So if P bar, the resultant of P bar and Q bar is R bar, we can write mathematically R bar equal to P bar plus Q bar. So we can substitute R bar equal to Rj cap, P bar equal to Pi cap, plus Q bar. So you are given that R equal to P, because it has given that magnitude of the resultant is double the magnitude of P bar. So you can substitute R equal to P on the left hand side. You can solve for Q bar. So Q bar can be written as minus Pi cap plus Rj cap. R can be written as 2P. Or that means Q bar you can write minus Pi cap plus 2P J cap. So from this you can write magnitude of Q bar equal to square of the square root of sum of the squares of its two rectangular components along x and y axis, that is P square plus 2P whole square. And magnitude of Q bar is that comes out to P square plus 4P square, or Q equal to P into root 5, or P equal to Q by root 5. You can substitute Q equal to 8 here. So 8 by root 5 will be the answer. So if you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. Look at the question number 24. The resultant of two vectors A bar and B bar is perpendicular to A bar. The resultant of two vectors A bar and B bar is perpendicular to A bar. And its magnitude is equal to half of the magnitude of vector B bar. The angle between A bar and B bar is. So look at the solution of this problem. So I denote the resultant of A bar and B bar by R bar. It's given that resultant R bar is perpendicular to vector A bar. And magnitude of the resultant is half of the magnitude of vector P bar. You are asked to find the angle theta between the two vectors A bar and B bar. This problem was given in one of the previous talent test examinations in physics at the national level Olympiad, physics Olympiad. So from parallelogram law of addition of vectors, you can construct a parallelogram by representing A bar and B bar by the adjacent sides. Set the tail of vector A bar attached to the tail of vector B bar. Then the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through their point of intersection represents the resultant R bar. The resultant R bar is given to perpendicular to the first vector A bar. So this is a parallelogram here. We represented the two vectors A bar and B bar graphically by the adjacent sides of the parallelogram. Set the tail of A bar is attached to tail of B bar. The diagonal of this parallelogram passing through their point of intersection represent the vector sum or resultant both in magnitude and direction. So given that resultant is perpendicular to A bar, so in a parallelogram opposite sides are equal. So this will also be equal to A bar. Call this angle by beta. So angle between the vectors A bar and B bar can be written as alpha plus beta. Here alpha is the angle made by the resultant with the first vector A bar, that is given to be 90 degrees. You are given the range magnitude of the resultant in terms of magnitude of B bar. So from the figure, you can write R by B, that is magnitude of the resultant divided by magnitude of the vector B bar. In this rectangle triangle, here you have a rectangle triangle. Length of side opposite to beta is A. Length of side adjacent to beta is R. Length of hypotenuse side is equal to mod of B bar or B. So R by B means adjacent side by hypotenuse side will be equal to cos beta. We are given that R equal to half B. Therefore half B equal to half B by B equal to cos beta. So I get cos beta equal to 1 by 2. Cos 60 degrees 1 by 2, so beta equal to 60 degrees. So angle between the vectors A bar and B bar, which is denoted by theta, can be written as alpha plus beta. Alpha is the angle made with resultant with the first vector A bar, that is 90 degrees. Beta is the angle made with the resultant with second vector B bar, which is 60 degrees. So answer will be 150 degrees. Want to copy the solution of the problem? You can take a pause and copy the solution of this problem. See the question number 25. A car traveling at 36 km per hour due north turns west in 5 seconds under acceleration, maintains the same speed. The accelerator of the car is. So here the magnitude of the final velocity vector V bar, same as the magnitude of initial velocity vector U bar, that is 36 km per hour, that can be converted into meter per second. It will be 10 meter per second. This velocity changes from V bar in 5 seconds. Initial velocity is directed towards north. The final velocity is directed towards west. You can choose the directions like this. This is the east direction. Look at the solution. Choose the oriented direction towards east like this. This is the oriented direction toward left, west, north, south. Then each velocity directed towards north and final velocity towards west. change in the velocity is a vector difference v bar minus u bar, which you can write it as vector sum of v bar and minus u bar. So v bar is directed towards west. So minus u bar will be directed towards south. U bar is towards north. So minus u bar from definition of negative vector will have same magnitude as the vector u bar but acts opposite u bar. U bar is towards north, so minus u bar will towards south. Here both the vectors have same magnitude. Therefore, the resultant bisects the angle with the two vectors. The change in the velocity, let us suppose denoted by delta v bar equal to v bar minus u bar, which you can write v bar plus minus u bar. The figure, the velocity vector v bar is represented by OA bar. Vector minus u bar is represented by OB bar. So OACB is a rectangle in this case. So resultant of OA bar and OB bar will be equal to OC bar, which acts towards southwest. So magnitude of change in the velocity is equal to mod of v bar minus u bar. Here v bar is perpendicular to u bar. So mod of v bar minus u bar is root of v square plus u square. So v without the bar symbol represent modulus of final velocity vector, and u without bar symbol represent magnitude of initial velocity vector, and each equal 10 meter per second. So you get magnitude of the change in the velocity will be 10 root 2 meter per second. Direction of the change in the velocity will be towards southwest. That means makes 45 degrees with south and 45 degrees with west. So average acceleration can be written as magnitude of the average acceleration. Magnitude of the average acceleration is equal to magnitude of the change in the velocity by time interval. So that will be 10 root 2 meter per second by 5 seconds. That will be 2 root 2 meter per second square. The direction will be direction of the acceleration, I mean average acceleration, same as the direction of change in the velocity, which is towards southwest. So answer is 2 root 2 meter per second square towards southwest. So if you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. See the question number 26. A particle is subjected to two equal magnitude forces along two different directions. One of them is halved. The angle with the resultant makes with the other is also halved. The angle between the forces is, you can use the relation trigonometry, sin 3a equal to 3 sin a minus 4 sin cube a. Here given that they have same magnitude, let P denote the magnitude of each force in the first case. One of them is halved, that is angle with the resultant makes with the other is also halved. So in the first case, let P denote the magnitude of each one, as I have discussed, or P and Q denote the magnitude of two forces, Q equal to P. So as I discussed in the past, when two vectors have same magnitude, then the resultant bisects the angle between the two vectors. Here two forces have same magnitude, therefore resultant bisects the angle between the two forces. So if theta is the angle between the two forces P and Q, alpha is the angle made by the resultant with one of the forces, then alpha will be equal to theta by 2. Look at the solution of the problem. So in the first case, P and Q denote the magnitudes of the two forces which are equal, and resultant bisect the angle of the two forces. Let alpha denote the angle made by the resultant with the two forces P bar and Q bar. It is given that the 2 bar and Q bar have same magnitude, so we can write Q equal to P. And resultant bisect the angle with the two forces when they have same magnitude. So alpha equal to theta by 2. Here theta means the angle with the two forces, or you can write theta equal to alpha. It is given that when one of the forces is made half, let us suppose the magnitude of the first force is reduced to half of the previous value. The angle which the resultant makes with the other force so in the second case, P by 2 is magnitude of one of the forces. Magnitude of the other force is same Q, which is equal to P. Let R dash denote the magnitude of the resultant second case. The angle with the resultant makes with the other force is becomes half. That means this becomes alpha by 2. So in this figure, you can, to find the angle of the two forces, you have to find alpha. So here total angle with the two forces 2 alpha. So this is alpha by 2. So this angle will be, this particular angle made by the resultant with the first force in the second case will be theta minus alpha by 2. That is 2 alpha minus alpha by 2. That will be 3 alpha by 2. So this angle becomes 3 alpha by 2. So you can apply the sine rule. If you show the forces again more clearly, this is also Q by, this is Q here, and I show the same diagram here again. This is P by 2. So here this will be Q here. I am showing this triangle separately. And this is the resultant in the second case. This is 3 alpha by 2. This angle will be alpha by 2. So in this, from sine rule, you can write in this triangle or this triangle, same triangle I have shown separately. Length of this side, that is P by 2, divided by sine of the angle at the opposite vertex is alpha by 2. Equal to length of this side or this side, Q, by sine of 3 alpha by 2. But here Q and P are equal in magnitude originally. So from this you can write sine of 3 alpha by 2 divided by sine of alpha by 2 equal to QYP. 2 QYP. But Q and P are equal, so you can substitute Q equal to P on the right side. Sin 3 alpha by 2 you can write sin 3a. Sin alpha by 2 you can write sin a. That means here a equal to alpha by 2. Use the Farline trigonometry. Sin 3a equal to 3 sin a minus 4 sin cube a by sin. This is the value formula for sin 3a divided by sin a equal to p by p will be 2. This you can simplify it further to find a. If you want to copy the solution, you can take a pause and copy the solution. I will continue the simplification. Otherwise, here or in the next page. So in the last step, we got 3 sin a minus power sin cube by sin a. So if you divide each term separately, 3 sin a by sin a minus 4 sin cube by sin a equal to 2. So you get 3 minus 4 sin square a equal to 2. 3 minus 2 equal to 4 sin square a. And 1 by 4 equal to sin square a. Or sin a you can write 1 by 2. So a is equal to 30 degrees. A is, we have assumed that a equal to alpha by 2 is 30 degrees. So a can be, alpha can be written as 60 degrees. So the angle theta between the two forces is 2 alpha. That 2 into 60 degrees or 120 degrees is the answer. If you want to copy the solution, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. That's all. With this, I have completed discussion of solutions for all the multiple choice questions from 1 to 26.